Hello, YouTube. It's your boy Jesus TV, and yeah, I know I'm wearing a fucking hat, but like, holy shit, my hair has been getting in my face. That's when I know I gotta get a haircut. I might do that today, honestly, bro. Like, this shit is getting out of fucking hand. But we have Ozark here. We have the 8th episode of season 2. We are cruising, man. Be best here. This is what we're talking about. Ooh, crazy episode, honestly. A lot of things are going on in this show. A lot of crazy story developments. Let me bring my mic a little closer so you guys can hear me. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's kind of frustrating. There are some momentum killing here. The last 3 episodes, kind of was halted, but a lot of developments happened that I'm like, oh shit, this finale should be good. Um, you know, so a frustrating episode of Ozark killed some of the momentum of the last 3 chapters, working best when it contrasts the rifts and the marriages of the birds and the snows. I think that is really cool, kind of focusing on both of those marriages. Both of these power couples disagree both on how they've handled recent behavior and how to move forward from here, which has definitely caused some problems. Meanwhile, the women whom Marty feels the need to save, Rachel and Ruth, continue to create problems while Charlie Wilkes learns that Wendy Bird isn't just his political equal, but his malevolent superior. So, yeah. Very interesting stuff there. Charles kind of figuring some stuff out. Might affect their business relationship a little bit, sure. There might not be that much trust there anymore. There were some interesting developments, including what could be the death of the Snells and a hail of gunfire, but this episode felt surprisingly clunky, poorly put together, and written. It's very rare you say that about Ozark. I would say, the actual concept of the episode and kind of what happened was pretty good. It's just, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's interesting. It's an interesting episode to talk about. Let's hope they get it back together for the final 2 of the season. So the episode opens up with a bit of chronological trickery, moving back from an overdose by Rachel in the Blue Cat Lodge through the chain of control of the drugs she snorted to reveal that, 4 nights earlier, Darlene Snell cut her heroin supply with fentanyl. She pretty much took some fent, bashed it up, threw it in a small little barrel batch, which is like minute compared to the rest of their supply, and obviously Rachel seemed to be the unlucky one. I don't know if the Snells were doing this on purpose to try to send a message and to Marty, possibly even target Rachel with this shit. I don't know. I don't really know the motives of that. Maybe we'll figure it out. We don't even know if the Snells are alive, which is kind of the crazy part, and I can't wait because right after I'm done recording this video, I'm gonna be going and watching that. So that was crazy. That was an interesting twist. They're leaving like this, like some sort of like church benefit, and they just get gunned the fuck down. So I don't know. Does anyone buy this? Yes, we've seen that Darlene can be impetuous and put her operation and life in jeopardy, but Pierce and Company made so much about guaranteeing quality product that she had to know this would end in her death. I'm pretty sure she died. I feel like the Snells had to have died, and I think that's what caused it. I don't know what the fuck Darlene was thinking. The cartel figured it out. The FBI even did an investigation on it and figured out that it was laced with fentanyl. Like, what the hell are you doing, man? You're not supposed to kill your customers. Like, these are still people that are relying on your product. Like, treat them as fucking clients, not just some dope heads on the fucking street. You know what I mean? Dude, Darlene has made some mistakes. First, she killed Del Rio. That put some fucking tension. And now she fucking damn near killed Rachel with her fentanyl. Fucking spiked up heroin. I don't know, man. Predictably, when that quality is diminished at a point that there are deadly drugs on the street, both killing profits and bringing the interest of the feds, the Mexican drug cartel opens fire on the Snells, unloading hundreds of bullets on the way home from a chicken dinner. Yeah, and there's like reports of like 21 people being affected by this batch, and that's fucking crazy, man. And that many people is definitely going to draw attention to the feds. I don't know what you were thinking there. Ozark has been jettisoning supporting characters as a remarkable clip, losing Buddy, Mason, and possibly now the Snells 3 weeks in a row, or 3 episodes in a row, obviously. In these reviews and in these notes I read, they're talking about weekly drops, so they're running out of bodies to bury, man. I don't know what's next. I feel like at this point they're going to have to start introducing new people to the circle. I don't know how I feel about 3 major characters, 3 major groups, 3 major, stables in this episode, or in this show, dying. episode by episode by episode. I feel like Buddy was kind of inevitable. That was understandable. But who else? Who the fuck? Oh my god, Mason. I mean, I guess you didn't really have to kill Mason. And Darlene. The Snells make sense though because they deserve that shit. But I don't know, man. Speaking of bodies, let's start there with the saga of Ruth and Kate Langmore in the funeral home. They have some really interesting storylines going with them. Feeling dismissed by Marty, Ruth recently turned to her lunatic father, telling him where she believes Bird Enterprises have been hiding their cash. So now she wants to kind of go back to her plan of, hey, I'm going to rob the fucking birds. These people have treated me like shit the entire time I've been working for them. She correctly interprets the Hearst trips as suspicious, figuring that the money must be in the only bird business, not bird business. Get it? Summers, not overrun by FBI agents. This is the one kind of like business venture that the FBI hasn't touched. Because it seems like a pretty tame one compared to their other money laundering services and all that stuff. Their money laundering outlets, I should say, really. I mean, she was right. It was like connected to the funeral home, but they don't find it. She breaks in one night with Cade, but the two can't find the money, failing to realize that Marty has put it in Buddy's mausoleum. What a fucking genius, you know. Cade lashes out, punching Ruth and calling her names. You know, she's been wrong about a lot of fucking things. You know, when they were trying to cut the boat part, she didn't realize the owner was home, and they almost fucking died. He was pulling up with a fucking 12 gauge. Of course, this, combined with the fact that Marty got Wyatt's expulsion overturned, means that Ruth will go back to Bird over Cade. I mean, yeah, get the fuck out of here, Cade. You're fucking abusive. You're being an asshole to your daughter when she's just trying to give you ideas, and you haven't done shit this entire time. It would have been nice if this decision had been written as more of a challenge and not an obvious one after Cade shows his true colors. There's a stronger version of this season in which Ruth has to choose between her father and Marty that doesn't make the choices easy for her by having Cade call her the C word. I mean, come on now. That was an easy decision for her. But I think that would have been a really cool storyline, actually. So, you know, kind of shifting the momentum back to the birds. Marty is kind of falling apart after the death of Mason Young. But Wendy keeps on trucking as if nothing has happened. I mean, you weren't the one that killed Mason, so it's kind of easy for you to do that. You know, it's that sort of thing. I understand it. I mean, Marty's super traumatized by this. He's never wanted to kill anyone. He's never done it in his life. It's like, this isn't something you just blow off as like some casual thing and like, business is business. That's not how that's supposed to be for him. The show has implied at times that Wendy is the cooler, more calculated bird, and it's nice to see them digging into that a bit this episode, as she seems to have no problem bringing their son Jonah into the family business. Like, yeah, give us an excuse to launder money through an account. It's not like he's going to get in trouble. He's going under Mike Fleming, not Jonah Bird, you know. She uses the account he opened with the $5,000 that Charlie gave him to launder money and hide a donation to Charlie Wilkes to kind of buy him back into their operation here. So once Wilkes accepts what is basically cartel money, she has that over him, using it as leverage to get him to take the final steps to make the casino a reality. Because if he doesn't, she's going to be revealing to the feds real soon that this is cartel money. And she might even tell the cartel about it. And I don't know. Probably not a good idea, actually. Charlie really had no idea who he was partnering with when he met Wendy Bird. He knew she was a political genius, but never imagined how far she'd go. I mean, she's just a mastermind, really. So when Wendy is getting the actual work done to get the casino up and running, Marty is determined to save Rachel. You know, Marty has always had something of a savior complex, and he feels guilty about the situation Rachel finds herself in. And so, like his wife, he uses personal connections and skeletons to get leverage. In this case, the target is Agent Petty, and the bones in the closet are the fact that Petty's mom is a drug addict, which we've been kind of seeing throughout the show. You know, she hasn't been talked about for a while, but I think it's kind of cool to kind of revamp that sort of dynamic of the show. Showing Petty a video of his own mother getting shot up, especially with the bad product on the street, is harrowing stuff, even if Petty is vile enough to deserve it. In the episode's best beat, Petty asks Marty if he's proud of what he's done. He admits he's not. You know, no one should be proud of doing that. Oh, my bad. Fuck. The stupid, like, privacy stuff. I don't know why I set that up on my phone. That was so dumb. But, But at least Rachel is free after what Marty's done. The question is, will she take Marty's money and go and rehab in Miami, or get into further trouble, or does she perhaps have strong enough feelings for Marty that she'll stick around? I mean, Marty's kind of given her that choice. Maybe not really that choice, but he's kind of implied that. Imagine if Charlotte Bird finds out that her father's been making out with Rachel. She hates her family enough already, pushed to the edge by a ridiculous dinner conversation in which the gang basically discusses all of their illegal activities of the day, including Jonah's money laundering and Charlotte's shoplifting. I mean, this is a very fucking corrupt family. Like, things have been flipped upside down for these people. This is not a normal life, and the episode ends with Charlotte telling her parents that she wants to be emancipated and leave this chaos behind. Obviously, emancipated means you can, like, legally leave your parents. Um, it's like the moment where, hey, I want to move out of the house. But she's literally like 15 or something, 16. It might actually be best for her and the show, which has never really known what to do with the Bird children. I do kind of like what they've been doing with Jonas, with like the offshore bank accounts and stuff. But Charlotte, I don't really feel the need to have her. The fact that the episode ends with the Charlotte scene and not the one before is indicative of its clunky structure. I'm not really sure why this whole Snell thing wasn't the cliffhanger. We don't care as much about Charlotte as we do the overkill that befalls the Snell's car in the scene before. We don't actually see them get killed as the camera stays at a distance, but their vehicle is filled with hundreds of bullets from both sides, and it looks like the driver gets off a few shots from an open window. If the Snells are gone, who runs the heroin trade in the Ozarks? And then who helps launder the money? And could the casino possibly get built on the land of two local legends just gunned down on the street? How does that affect everything? Every time Marty and Wendy think they've got a plan figured out, something screws up. And I'm sorry I kind of rushed through the end there. I didn't want this video to be too long. I didn't want you guys to have to stick around too long. But I'm out, It's going to be interesting. I can't wait for it. I'm about to go upstairs and start watching the next episode, kind of have some lunch, enjoy my day. I will be giving you guys a football fusion video. I know that's kind of crazy, Roblox, blah, blah, blah.